guys, welcome back. Got another Mercedes for you, although this one's a little bit more special, a little bit more juicy. This is a Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600. It's just like the other GLS, but far less practical. Anyway, let's see what the inside is like. As you would imagine, there is zero problem with leg and headroom in this car. I'm 6'2", and this is completely comfortable. I gotta say, this is probably one of the nicest back seats I've ever been in. You know, aside from some dildo stealing the champagne flutes from this car. I guess we can't have it all, but it was pretty good. Let's go to the front. That's a lot of sevens. now for the button test. And now for the final button. Alright guys, so in this video, I'm not going to focus so much on the fit and finish as I am going to on the materials, because that's kind of the party piece that this car really has to offer. But I will touch on the fit and finish very briefly, so here's what's going on with that. It is pretty squeaky in some areas, especially over by the vents, and there's a little bit of squeakage by the wood, but not as much as I was expecting. And then a little bit in the back seats too, which was kind of disappointing, but I guess we can't have it all now, can we? It doesn't squeak really so much when you drive the car, which I guess is what matters in the end, I suppose, but just kind of pressing on stuff, I mean, it's a modern Mercedes, unfortunately. I'm going to have to give this a 5 out of 10 for fit and finish. It is what it is, but it's not over yet. Materials, on the other hand, are a whole nother story, which this car is almost a 10 out of 10. Almost. It's close. Let me explain why it doesn't quite get there. So the entire dash is the soft, supple, stitched Nappa leather. All over the dash, all over the door, all over the A, B, and C pillars, all over the freaking headliner. You see here, it's all beautiful stitched leather in here. So soft. The sun visor, actually sun visors, there's two of them, are also covered in this stuff. I mean, this leather is just as nice as you would find in like a Bentley or something. Very soft and supple. I have zero complaints about that. It's pretty excellent. And I don't know about you, but I personally prefer it in this sort of really light, almost cream color interior, as opposed to a black interior. I know Some people will say it'll get dirty easily or it's an old people color. I don't mind it. I feel like it's a nice contrast with the black exterior. Plus it looks good with these, you know, ambient lights in here. I dig it. I dig this interior color quite a bit. One nice piece of attention to detail is there is leather, like I said, all over the door, but it's even on the super low parts, like even down here where you get your muddy boots is leather, but it's also on the inside of the door pocket. This is all leather. The only part that's not leather on the inside of this pocket is this part here where you kind of touch on the inner wall. Not this part of the inner wall, but the one that the part you can't see. That's actually like a fabric of some kind. It's kind of fuzzy. So it's not fully leather, but only the parts that you can see are the stitched leather, which is still acceptable. I have mixed feelings about the trim in here. On one hand, you have this pretty nice looking wood here, and it has that sort of stripe going along the side. I think Johnny Lieberman mentioned that in an old S65 AMG review. It's kind of an Art Deco looking style here. That's very nice, but then what's not nice is, even though the steering wheel feels pretty good in the hand, it's all, you know, glossy and stuff, it is still that black piano veneer looking plastic. You can see little tiny micro scratches, and then it's not all over that little, you know, the Art Deco lines. That's not everywhere. It's not in this center console area, so you close this up, and it's all just glossy black piano veneer plastic, and you can see the little micro swirls and stuff. I'm not really a big fan of that. I wish they just continued the stripes, but I guess we have to compromise. The seats, you can imagine, are full Napa leather. You even have this brown sort of piping in the middle here. The seats themselves feel really comfortable, especially the headrest. You can just sort of lay your head back into it, and it's very, very cushy. No problem with the seats. And as I mentioned earlier, the headliner and the sun visor is entirely stitched, beautiful, perfect leather. Probably one of the better ones in the business. The only reason why this car does not get a 10 out of 10 for materials is because of the buttons and switchgear. Let me explain. Aside from some very minor things, this car does not feel any more special, for example, than a regular GLS that costs $80,000. So your vents are all the same. Your climate buttons, while very good, even on the standard GLS, I'm loving these climate buttons. They are metal, they're nice. Again, no different from regular GLS. This little area here, besides the Maybach logo, this is the same as a regular GLS. Your gear lever and turn signal stock are hard plastic, just like in the regular GLS. The paddle shifters are plastic, just like in the regular GLS. The other buttons here on the steering wheel are plastic, just like in the regular GLS. Everything is still nice and looks good and everything, but it's also nice in the regular GLS. Like even back here, you reach behind the little door handle here, these buttons too, the lock and unlock, it's just hard, crappy plastic like in the regular GLS. And unlike a Bentley, even if you look at things like the hardware, for example, on the sun visor, on a Bentley, it would be metal hardware, or even like an Aston Martin had metal or aluminum hardware. This is just painted plastic. Looks nice because it's painted to look like the rest of the leather, but it is still crappy plastic, just like in the regular GLS. And that's kind of the theme with these modern Maybachs, is they get so close to perfection, but just when it comes to some of the buttons and switchgear and the little bits of hardware, the tiny details, they fall short of the greats, and it hurts me to say that, because the rest of it is just so nice. So there you guys have it. Your final score is going to be 5 out of 10 for fit and finish, and 9 out of 10 for materials. Please let me know your thoughts. Now you would think a car like this, a Maybach GLS, would just drive like a dream. It would be smooth and yet powerful. You would think that, right? Well, if you do think that, you would think correct, because this car is fast, it is smooth and powerful, and it absorbs the bumps really nice. This is a pretty easy car to drive. You can tell that it's big and heavy, but that's a part of what makes it comfy. Yeah, this thing is actually pretty great to drive. You just turn on the massage seats how you want them, turn on your ventilated seats, crank up the Burmeister high-end sound system, and you're set to go. This is a very nice car to be in, whether you're in the front or in the back seat. So, an interior shortcomings aside, this is a very nice car to be in. You know, I can't fault it for that. Oh, and another party piece this car can do, which is obscene, is it can do the recovery mode. That's where the car will bounce basically to free itself from, like, if you're stuck in the sand. But look at this. Like, this is crazy. If you've never experienced this in a car with this active body control, on the newer active body control anyway, this is ridiculous. It's a lot more aggressive than I thought it would be. Like, it really jolts you. Oh boy, if you get motion sickness in a car, that mode is not for you. If you're a horse girl, that mode is definitely for you. And if you are a completely normal person like I am, you'll know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, this car is awesome. It depreciated a lot. It was 180 G's when it was new. Now it's like 130 something. That by itself is nuts. If you can scoop one of these for under 100K, I'd do it for sure. Well, if I had deep enough pockets anyway. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.